Well, here we are.
Here we are.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was good, man. Played a bunch of gigs, stayed in town.
Tell me about Thursday. Tell me about Thursday, please.
Thursday was cool. Played Cherry Street Tavern Thursday. I'm doing residency all in November, and then got to play with Hudson Freeman and Indigo Chrysalis, and
Don't skip over Hudson. That is, as I said earlier,
Farrahana too.
It's the most recognizable acoustic guitar lick right now, and you did a cover of it and made him very happy.
Yeah, he liked it. Yeah, he loved the cover.
It. Just made him blush. He loved it so much.
Well, I don't know about that, but he.
It might have been the Griffin flag behind in Cherry Street. Made it look like it was good.
Yeah, but it really just was kind of happened to happen that he happened to be playing the same thing. It wasn't like on purpose or anything. So it was one of those cool like universe things. But we got to hang out. We shot another video the next day and
by the power lines.
Yeah, by the power lines, which Jakey and I have used as background for videos before.
Wonderful.
And then next day, man, 3-show day. You know, banjo national anthem in the morning.
Right.
Go play.
That sounded so good, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
That makes people. I bet that draws a lot of tears. You know, doing it kind of.
I love doing the national anthem. If you're a musician, get yourself a good national anthem because it's so much fun to go play sporting events.
It is.
Go play like the Lookouts games are awesome. Mm-hmm. Somebody was asking about it the other day. We were talking about it, and they had been invited. They were asking like, what is it? How bad is it? And I said, do it. Just don't even think about it. Just do it. Every time I've done it, I've gotten invited into a box somewhere, and you get to watch the game from the box. Usually somebody will come down and be like, hey, you want to come hang with us?
Yeah.
Which is cool. I love watching the sports games from the box.
That's right.
And I'm too broke to do it normally. So.
Well, I've done it twice. Never got invited to the box. So there we go. I grew up doing it, man. Singing the national anthem, right? And, was doing harmonies with it since I was, hey, 4 lines, do you know this? Hey, Stocker, do you want to harmonize with him, or vice versa? And when we were 8 years old, getting out and doing it.
Really? That's cool.
And it was always an honor to be able to say, no, I'm representing freedom through being a musician. And being able to kind of get, there were a lot of people's respect and conversations with people that I would have never had if I wouldn't have done that song.
Yeah.
And I think that's getting in the box.
Oh, yeah,
They're
for
like,
sure, yeah.
Man, you really make people feel something,
Yeah.
Anyway.
The stage joke is, if you're going bad, you can always play it. It has to be a standing ovation. People have to stand as soon as you start.
Got to.
Bum, bum, bum,
That's right.
Bum.
That's right.
Here it comes.
Here we go. Hey, shut up. Every time I'm like, hey, stop talking. Put your hand over your heart. That's so good. So 3 shows in one day. You did national anthem.
Yeah, we did that. Then we did a private party that evening, which was really fun. It's like some people had moved into a new place.
Yeah.
And they were wanting to get together with their neighbors. So they were like, hey, we just do a house party with a band and just invite everybody. So kids running around. It was fun.
To all the listeners, what a great idea.
Yeah.
To get your favorite band and to invite them to the house. I've said that on this podcast before. Get 100 of your friends and I'll put $10.
Yeah, they just did they ran little ads and put stuff in their neighbors' mailboxes that were just like, hey, we're just getting to let you guys know that we're having this thing.
So took it upon themselves just to make it happen.
The guy's his name's Corey Petrie, and he's a mortgage broker. And he's pretty adept at doing media marketing anyway.
I was supposed to be
getting his friends to come hang out.
I was supposed to be at that show, by the way.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I really wanted to be there.
Yeah,
that sounded
man,
great.
You missed it. It was so crazy. It'll never happen again, too.
No, never, never. Especially with you. Yeah. And then the third show.
That was the third national anthem. The second show was Hamilton County Fair.
There we go.
Hamilton County Fair.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I thought I mentioned
which
that.
Emerald Butler played.
Yeah,
Adam Stone was there.
Yeah, saw Adam and them, and then got to see Amber Carrington.
She's
very
so good.
briefly because we had to go to the other gig. But I heard from somebody else that her show was unreal, which no surprise at all. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's one of those. She's one of those people can't do any wrong in my eyes.
Honestly, how lucky that Chattanooga is that you have talent like that just She just lives here.
Oh, by the way, just a voice contestant who's like, her husband, partner, equal.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Equal half, but she's definitely better than Drain. But, and the sweetest family in the world. And just music. If you're talking about a influential couple in music in Chattanooga, that's one of the
for sure,
shining stars. And I've never gotten anything but support from them.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
What a great couple.
Good folks.
And so to have somebody like that in your corner supporting you is everything. Support is everything.
And she was a huge part of the Tuesday Night Bluegrass Jam getting started. I mean, really, like, I would say in the very beginning, 75% of it was Amber Carrington making it happen, really probably even more, truthfully.
Yeah. Can we book in, yesterday was and we can fill in the gaps of your week, but yesterday was the Bluegrass Jam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here. And wasn't that great? I thought that was just...
Yeah, Bluegrass Jam's always fun.
I thought that was really
Come
good.
to the Bluegrass Jam, folks. It's awesome.
A fella grabbed me and he goes, hey, how do they have 2 circles in there? I said, hold on now. I said, if you go, and that was when I pointed to you, I said, if you come with me, one more room over, there's 3 Bluegrass Jams going in a 700 square foot area, which people need to come. If you have not come to the Bluegrass Jam, and Brother Randy isn't going to say this, but you need to come. It's just a really cool cultural thing. If you've never experienced a Bluegrass Jam and you don't know what I'm talking about, specifically, if you can't tell me the cultural movement of all of it, you really need to come see what's been happening for the past 300 years in this area, So it's really beautiful.
Yeah. But outside of that, the week was just chill and easy. Family stuff. And,
Yeah, the stuff that you
went and saw a couple shows, which is fun. Yeah.
Yep. I took the weekend off.
You just laid in bed like a lazy bum.
That's right, like a lazy bum. And I always think the head game of a musician when he's not busy, you got to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
You got to stay on top.
Did you stay on top of it while you're in bed?
Wait, I had to stay on top. in the sense of like watch my thoughts, because productivity in times of rest is in question by my ego.
All right. Hold on. Let's say.
Well, it kind of plays into what we're talking about with expectations that we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
And we put on expectations on ourselves, but even when it plays out in a bigger area, we put them on shows. And I think that's what you were kind of alluding to, is we put as musicians a lot of expectations on these events that we try to put on and getting in our heads about it.
Yeah. I definitely do that. I don't know. Do you do that, Jakey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely find.
I'm sweating right now just thinking about it.
Just thinking about it?
Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
They say expectation is a premeditated resentment.
Expectation is a premeditated resentment. I like it.
I really like it, because if you watch your expectations in the past, you can watch your resentments in the present.
Man, you are whipping them out.
No, the reason why is because if there's anybody that has to keep their head in an accurate mindset of what's going on, it is the arts community.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was just talking to a musician. I came in here talking for an hour and a half to Adam Stone about how we can keep our head on a swivel in the sense of making it fluid to where we don't get discouraged in the creative process. And I noticed that, when I'm doing these shows, there's so many factors that can play into it with outside of just what I'm doing. So in the personal way, I have personal promotion, as well as getting the guys or gals that I'm playing with to promote as well.
Yeah. Good luck.
And dude, then you get into what you were talking about, the family stuff. So you might have family stuff that week, right? You might have family stuff that week and then not be able to promote as much for a bigger show. So there's so many factors at play. And those are just the personal. You wrote down a few that would come into play outside of that.
Just even talking about, because this is the week of Thanksgiving.
Right.
Holiday this week, if you look at the calendar, it's pretty thin, and rightfully so. People are hanging with their families, they're making plans, they're traveling, they're doing their stuff. And there's really probably not a ton of appetite for like going out to live music shows, just for this 1 week.
Right.
That's a holiday thing. If you book on a holiday, you may just find yourself playing to an empty crowd. I'm saying that I got a Thanksgiving Day show booked, so I may eat it. I don't know. We'll see.
Eat the brick.
Yeah, yeah, for real. But I mean, I think those, like, there's just some things that are quantifiable and some things that aren't. There's some things for sure that will happen. There's some things you don't. But I think the things that you don't know that are going to happen, like someone who does know or has been through it can really kind of guide you and be like, hey, just a heads up. And I thought about that in the context of this conversation of talking about expectations and talking about the stumbling blocks or the bridges that happen that get in your way as you're moving into a new town or as you're playing in town, right? And I was thinking of, like, as you, Joel, who came here 6 years ago, if you were to go back 6 years and forget about all the, personal or any of that stuff,
right,
just as a musician, are there steps like that you would say, I definitely wouldn't make that mistake again? If I was to come back again, I wouldn't make that mistake again. If you think of anything off the top of your head that, like, a common musician mistake people would make?
I think a lot of people immediately come into town and develop relationships with people that have also moved into town.
Yeah.
And so I think that if I were to give myself advice, I would say get an accurate depiction of what local musician life in Chattanooga is like.
Yeah.
A few of the guys that I was hanging out with when I came into town, they don't live in town anymore. We related on the sense that we both moved into town, but whenever they would move away or something like that, I felt like I'd lost the support.
I got you, yeah.
As well as be about what you're about, and while doing that, see if you can help other people. Really what I did, man, I'm going to be honest, is I threw myself into the scene and said, how can I support? How can I support? Well, what I will say to a new musician is, and I've actually said this to a younger musician recently, have your project that you're working on at all times, that you're crafting. While you're doing this other stuff, that's great, but don't rely on work of other people to get you where you need to be. And also be consistent. If I were to look back and encourage myself, I would say, hey, man, keep showing up. Keep showing up. Just show up. And even to the bluegrass jam, like, I'm not a bluegrass player. I love playing bluegrass, but I want to support that. So show up to what you feel is helping the community, and the like-minded people that see you will connect with that too. But rest more. If I could have told myself something too, because I'm just in the trenches, man. I'll work myself sick just because I enjoy doing the work.
What you're doing.
Exactly. So
I get that.
And I think that's knowing that enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like my work is enough.
I want to ask y'all a question. So how do y'all kind of cope with creative burnout? How do you guys get yourselves out of that rut?
Well, I think I think that part of that plays into exactly what we're talking about. Is like, what even is creative burnout? What is it? Like, is it just you setting your expectations that you're going to create this much of this material, or that your material that you create is going to be at this certain level all the time, and you're setting that expectation to yourself ahead of time, and then you get there and it's harder, or some days you're just not as inspired, and then you're like, oh man, I'm totally burnt out.
That's right.
I think a lot of times, man, you just got to cut yourself a break.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
listen to them.
A lot of times, like, creative burnout to me means like it's time to focus on something else. Recently, I really found myself coming out of like a writer's block, but at this point in time, I've been writing for so long and so much that writer's block, I don't even care. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to focus on playing banjo scales and working on some stuff that I wanted to do on banjo anyway. And I've been focusing on that in my mornings as opposed to like getting up and writing and being like, so I think the main thing is cut yourself a break, man. Like, you don't have to be creative all the time, and your work needs to be reflective of you. And if you're reflective, your reflection is just you being all antsy and angsty about what you're doing and how it's received. I think that kind of comes through in the art, and that just leads to being burnt out, you know?
Well, and I really I learned a lot about music by hanging out with the Coe River guides.
Yeah.
I did. I learned a lot about
How to
music.
do all the drugs.
Yeah, exactly. How to do all of that and still show up to work, but also how to ride the seasons.
Yeah, seasonal. Yeah, for sure.
They ride the seasons, and also, dude, some days it's just the water's too low. Some days just the water's too low. There's no way to, there's no way to change that. I'm not in charge.
Yeah.
You
It just
know?
didn't rain.
Yeah. Or they're just holding the water. Somebody that is way in charge, way more than me, is holding the water.
Yeah.
And in recent times, dude, I write maybe, if you look at the average of my life, I write probably one song a year.
Really?
Maybe. And, I can't help that. Maybe that'll change. Maybe that, because I sit down to write.
Did you burn your one song a year on the EPP Jingle Jam?
That's right. I burn it. It's gone. That was it.
Joel.
That was it.
Oh, no.
We're done.
Oh, no.
Cashing out with the EPB and then taking the jingle on. But what I find is that if I ride the seasons, if I'm patient with myself and I understand that, then it gives. It really does. The seasonal life is for the musician because because the wintertime we're not touring, everybody's recording.
Yeah.
Look at how the business runs.
Yeah.
Like, it runs with, okay, now February, everybody's announcing their tours, and here we go. Everybody's having the releases in the spring. Everybody has the festivals everybody has the weddings in the fall. It's just
it really
so
is
seasonal.
cyclical. Yeah.
And so riding those and having, I say, if it's just a spark, not having too much wood that would dampen the fire. So just having enough. Like if you have just a spark, just put a little twig on there to build the.
Yeah.
You're going to snuff that fire out.
Yeah.
If you put that big old log of inspiration on there. So my spark sometimes is a huge flame burning everything that's in its path, and sometimes it's nothing.
Yeah.
But when that happens, how to support burnout is find the ones that aren't burnout and support them.
Yeah.
Because then I immediately notice that I'm jealous of that person. And that is a beautiful thing to feel in the artist's mind because I can flip that to permission to exist. I'm jealous because he's riding the wave. Oh, I'm in his raft too.
Yeah.
Why am I? Now we're on the same journey, and I'm able to draw inspiration. So, for example, in real time, I'm burnt out currently.
Really?
In real time,
Like you creatively or
it's so interesting. Like I had this one song that I've been writing for 3 months. I've written 15 different versions of it and scrapped them.
Oh,
it's just something's not clicking. And I realized, wait, what am I going through in my life? Are there external factors that wouldn't put me, like you said, what space am I creating from?
Yeah.
And how can I get back to that creative space? Well, first of all, doing more is not going to help me on burnout.
Yeah, for sure.
Sleeping is definitely going to help me.
Yeah.
And also supporting others, drawing inspiration, not jealousy from others. So I think, because when you were answering it, I was taking notes in my brain because I'm like, here Randy Steele is talking about how to deal with it when I just see somebody like you and I'm like, well, he's killing it. He's always firing on all 8 cylinders or 12 cylinders. And it's so beautiful to hear that from a musician and people say that about, my friends say that about me. Oh, you're burnout? How? And I'm like, brother, let me tell you, So it's also knowing that the creative mind is not the true perception of what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we are musicians, and also knowing that I'm not alone, opening my mouth as soon as possible.
When you guys experience burnout, do you ever go back to the albums and songs that inspire you to try to find that spark again?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I go back and listen to, honestly, for me, every time has been the same, and I think I've just figured out how to deal with it. And I don't think it's the same way for everybody, but it is the same way for it. This is how I fight through it. Is I learn other songs. I concentrate on learning the instrument. I concentrate on learning some new chords or some new things, or there's some new music theory thing that I probably should have already known. That really puts you in the mindset to me, like creativity and learning kind of go one on one. You know, like they're kind of left foot, right foot. Learning really helps you be creative. If you're not learning new stuff, then you're only being creative with the palette that you have, and you're limiting your palette by not learning anything, right? Like you can only paint with so many colors, and if you're, it's hard to paint emotions if you never, to put practical terms, if you don't practice your minor chords and your minor key scales and stuff like that, you don't really practice that stuff, you can't really write cool, sad songs because you know, you can't really express that emotion. You can do it with like an A minor to C to G chord progression like every other body has done for however long. But, you know, really, you know, you're really just limiting yourself. So, like, to me, just learning about music and learning the instrument, learning about what other people have done in front of you, that has helped me every single time break that spell of like, I can't feel. And also it helps you refocus on, because it feels like such a heavy weight, you know, when you're like, I need to be writing songs or I need to be putting stuff out, because again, it kind of goes back to expectations where you're like, I saw Joel just put out a new song. Jakey just put out a new one. Ooh, somebody cool just redid Geese, you know, or Goose. And then, you know, or something like that, you know, and then you all of a sudden you feel this pressure. At some point in time, you know, you just realize like that's just yourself putting your own pressure on there. And if you really just like focus on the art form itself or the art and try to brush that stuff away, to me, it seems like the creative process gets put into the place where it needs to be, where you're like, I want to create because I'm feeling inspired, as opposed to I'm creating because I feel like I need to compete or to keep up. I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, totally.
Another part of it, and it's always helped me. I remember I was in Nashville, and my mom and dad are both musicians, and have been their whole life. And I walked up to Mom and I said, "Hey," and they're not necessarily playing the kind of music I'm playing, right?
So what kind of music are they playing?
Very gospel oriented. If it's not the 600, if Steve Green didn't write it, if Patty didn't write it, Sandy Patty, I mean, if a few of the other ones, if it ain't in the Gaither Homecoming Band, but it's all gospel. It's all church. I didn't know secular songs till I was like 25. I was like, I'm not playing a cover. Yeah. Not because I thought I was too good for it, just because I didn't know how to play, you know, that style. But she said, I was talking to her. I said, you know, I'm really discouraged. I'm in a creative rut, blah, blah, blah. A band had broken up that I was in. She said, "Joel, I just don't know what to tell you other than," she said,
"Is that your mom?"
Yeah, that's my mom sounds just like that. She said, "Joel, I don't know what to tell you other than if you don't know what to do, go help somebody." And dude, when I'm down, and I used it, when I'm down, I'm calling you. Yeah, I'm calling you. I'm coming to this. I'm showing up. Yeah. When I'm down, I'm calling a musician abroad. I'm calling a domestic musician. I'm calling a local musician. I'm calling everybody that I can call, because when I start having these conversations, I realize it is all in my head.
Yeah.
It is, you know, it's not burnout. It's actually the natural progression of creativity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
because I have to, you know, I see it as reaping the harvest, right?
You can't just excel.
Can't just excel.
I got to inhale. You cannot just exhale.
I thought you said excel. Exhale.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
you can't. You have to take a breath, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, well, I mean, this is a great time to do it, though. Thanksgiving's coming up. You know, you take a break in your mashed potatoes and
that's right,
gravy and stuff.
Well, I mean, and I think that's also, it goes back to the expectation, right? Like we go back to. It's all expectation. If I'm burnt out, it's an expectation on what it should look like. I'm labeling it as burnout because I've been told if you're not writing a song every day, you're burning out. That's not the case.
Yeah.
I can, Spirit in the Sky, the one song that guy wrote, Norman, I forget his last name. He's making $175 a year on it, lives in LA in a flat and has, you know, done that his whole career.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
Is he burnt out?
Yeah.
Or is he on fire? You know, like I think it's really cool just to play with perception and just to see kind of you know, where somebody is. I think the main question I need to be asking myself is, am I, with an accurate depiction, moving forward through failure?
I got you.
Because I'm going to fail. I think that's one thing I can expect accurately.
Well, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Right.
We all going to do that.
Right.
I mean, the only thing you can guarantee, and you're talking music, is no. You're going to get told no.
Right.
And you're going to eat it. You know, and
Right.
you're going to fall sometimes. That's just the way it goes.
Well, and that kind of brings me into kind of where we were talking about with holiday shows, right?
Yeah.
You throw them with the hope where you say, and this is why I do holiday shows. I'm sure this is a reason why. There are so many people that don't have family.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
so
for
many
sure.
people that aren't didn't grow up with family. There's so many people that have either lost family or have bad relationships, as we all do with certain family members.
Yeah.
And that's the last place they want to be during a holy day is with their family. And so giving people places to gather with a chosen family, you know, that we choose to see each other, you know, we choose to care, you know, I think that's a really cool thing. But when you do that, you expect people to come, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the tough thing about it is, and I mean, that expectation of who's coming, how many people are coming, you know, like whether it be a holiday that gets in the way or whether it be the competitive. I mean, the great thing about Chattanooga is the amount of bands that are playing in town. You know, I'm playing against a great show this weekend that I want to go see, but I have to play a show. And, you know, so, you know, those are other factors, you know, and you have to weigh all of that stuff and really temper your expectations, I think, of what you think is going to happen at each show. It's funny. I have a couple of younger musicians that are like, you know, friends of mine who are in, and what they expect or think is going to happen is crazy. Like, it's wild, you know, like they really are like, I'm going to be on, you know, whatever the Tonight Show is now, whatever that is, they're going to be on that version of it, you know, next year. Right. And it's really tough to see them like tie their happiness to that and be like, because if that doesn't happen, how disappointed are you going to be? Right. And like, man, the monumental odds against you are, you know, you really need to find your happiness within the art form itself. Because if you tie it to success, or if you tie it to these expectations that aren't real, it's gonna constantly be disappointing.
Then you get to the Tonight Show, and
that's gonna be disappointing.
And that check pays a month of rent, and that's it. You don't get any more calls.
You're stuck talking to Jimmy Fallon for an hour.
There you go.
When we could be talking to you guys.
There you go. Yeah. No. Hey, expectations. You're getting just as much. You need to lower your expectations, you know. Getting just as much as Jimmy Kimmel right here, you know.
No offense, but I would probably take the Jimmy Kimmel spot over
the Jakey Joel spot. What?
Just for one time. Just for once, you know.
It's funny when it really is funny when you go to expectations, and because I have not yet had a smashing success physically from a show. I haven't.
Like sold out show.
Now, I was in a band and we sold JJ's out 3 times in one night.
Well, that's cool.
That was because the band was ending and it was the final show.
I got it.
Right? And we toured.
Everybody want to see if you guys are going to fight on stage.
Right. It's like, and all the Ocoee people were there. We used to play the dodgeball Ocoee events. Yeah. So, dude, all the Ocoee cats were there and it was a blast. Sold it out 3 times. It's the only time I've ever had a successful show. And I remember I was so disappointed.
Really?
Because, and here's how the mind goes. I was disappointed because the next night in Nashville, we had 56 people.
Oh, dude, that's tales old as time.
So
that's
it's like, dude, take the harvest when you got the harvest.
Yeah.
Right? And rejoice in it. And then take the work when you got the work.
Yeah.
And man, it's just that's why I really love the first interview that Jeff Mosier did with Colonel Bruce. And the first line is, the highs are so high and the lows are so low. And if there's a middle, you're a bottom player. And he said, but it's the joyful noise. He said, it's the joyful noise.
Yeah.
And it comes down to that. This is an expression of like the happiness and joy that we choose to continue in the world. And man, it's hard for me to level with that might be the only thing I'm here to do. Is just bring joy to the local community through music.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Honestly,
that's okay.
What a great thing.
And that's what I tell guys, like when I'm talking to them, I'm like, guys, we're a part of a community that we know how much it's worth. That's all that matters. Like nobody needs to know, like self-worth is a real thing. And to know that I'm in a part of a creative community that values itself and that respects itself is a really cool thing. And beyond expectation on that, it's just selfish, because when I come into expectation, I'm at the top and I didn't even think about you.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the only problem I have with kind of I'm trying to be careful, but with the viral community that we have, it's very self-centered and hip, to the extent of value is not seen in content or intent. It's seen by a number at the top in the middle of somebody's page.
Yeah, for sure.
And man, I'm looking for content and intent.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
so,
I think honestly though, good content is what drives that number.
100,
so like
110.
You can almost guarantee, not guarantee, but you can look at those. You can still find people just still do bots and all that stuff, but typically you see that number and it's good, especially if you see engagement on people's posts.
Well, then there's archivists.
So you feel like good freaking music.
100%.
It's a good idea to check that person out. 100%. I just did that with somebody that's coming to Chattanooga.
Who was it
this week? They're coming to Hi-Fi Clouds, and I want to make sure I get the date right. But they're on the 28th of November. They're called Forbidden Highway. Never heard of them. Only reason why I even looked them up is because they're playing at Hi-Fi Clouds, and I knew I was going to have to talk about it.
Wonderful.
Looks like they're a Nashville-based band. It looks like they may have some people like some here or some in Chattanooga. Mm-hmm. Looks like they're relatively new. Not huge numbers, like 500, 600 followers, something like that. But they do have stuff on Spotify, and I checked it out. Pretty cool. I mean, it's really pretty cool music. It's Southern rock, and if that's your thing, I like Southern rock music. It's cool.
Absolutely.
Go see them play Hi-Fi Clouds. It'll be a fun night. So yeah, if you're out and about, go check that band out. That should be a fun one.
So we've got that was November 28th, right?
Yeah.
And you were talking about Southern rock. We've got a couple that weekend. I really enjoy these bands that are coming through. The 28th also at Songbirds, you have Amethyst Kia, who's coming. And I didn't know about Amethyst. I didn't know that Amethyst was a Chattanooga native.
Yeah, fantastic rider.
And I didn't know they played banjo. I didn't know that they were a student at ETSU, kind of a icon of that area. Lives in Johnson City now.
Yeah.
And her dad's her manager.
No kidding.
Her family, both of her parents were musicians, and in her bio, it says that her third show ever was playing for her mother's funeral. Yeah. So we're talking about somebody that earned it, like somebody that's coming from. Can you imagine?
That's tough, dude.
Can you imagine the formative musical experience of your life being? So it comes from a very real place. When I read that, I was like, oh, that's why they're coming from such a real place.
Yeah.
So that's going to be at Songbirds. Amethyst Kia, November 28th at Songbirds.
Pause. I was going to say we were getting that the whole time. Do we just want to run that section again one more time?
Sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Do a little.
I'll keep on going so we can. But Josh Driver.
Yeah, Josh Driver. I mean, that guy. You talk about somebody's put in the work,
brother.
I mean, I don't think anybody has busked on that bridge more than Josh Driver has.
I didn't see personally. I've heard a lot about it, but I didn't think. I didn't think much of it, because people busk, and then realizing that he was the busker.
He's the man, man.
Yeah.
And I would say even that part, I would say is kind of even a little bit in the past, because now it's all big shows.
Well, now he's a part of a band, Hard Luck. I mean, they sold out their first show at Cherry Street,
I saw them. They're great.
Holy smokes.
I've seen them play. They're
Talk
a
about
great
Southern
band.
rock.
That's a great Southern
Yes,
rock
sir.
band, man.
That's-
They do.
Go ahead.
We talked about, I mean, I was with a bunch of bluegrass folks, and we were all just like, how much fun would it be to just lay down hot, Leonard Skinner style freaking guitar solos with your buds? Like, let's just work out harmony solos. That sounds like so much fun.
I mean, in Southern rock, if you have the touch, in my opinion, is my favorite. I mean, it's probably because I'm Southern and I play rock, but I mean, it's my favorite style. I love it. I love hearing it. And they throw down and they had such a great response. But Josh Driver is going to be playing at Gate 11.
Okay, great.
He's his voice is incredible. His guitar playing is incredible. But he highlights his harmonica playing a lot on his solo. So that's good too. But another thing that I was going to talk about was my favorite holiday. So when we talk about holiday expectations, right?
All right.
It's like a Chattanooga thing for me. It's like part of the culture. I love on holidays, Christmas, New Year's, maybe the day after, definitely Thanksgiving night after I take Miss Sonia a plate of Thanksgiving at Red Bank Waffle House.
Yeah.
I'll come back to JJ's, man. I'll come back to JJ's just because I know that everybody just got off of Thanksgiving, right? Mm-hmm. And so on the 29th, they're doing a punk rock Christmas event.
That's on Saturday, right?
Yep. Is that the 29th?
Yeah, that's the 29th.
Punk Rock Christmas. And it has Jack Andalou.
Oh, cool.
And a bunch, and, Chateau de Andalou was his project. Yeah. And I just love Jack Andalou for a couple of reasons. One of them is because he's a pedal steel player.
Yeah.
I love a pedal steel player.
For sure.
And then also, he's just super creative. I don't think I've ever seen him stop the creative process.
Yeah, he's iconic in Chattanooga that. I mean, even going back in the day, I mean, when he was doing, when I first met him, he was doing a live concert show called Lindsay Street Hall Presents that we got on WTVCI. And I think they recorded like 10 or 11 bands or something like that. It may have been less. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. But, and got him on TV, which back then was a huge deal, man. I was like, how did this guy pull this off?
Yeah. Big dreamer too. He's a big dreamer, and I can get behind. He's such a big dreamer that I'm sure that's how we got on. He pitched somebody the idea and has such a great vision for what he's doing.
Yeah, same thing with that. He just did that Signal Mountain Songwriter Festival. That's just like, we talked about Adam Stone a few weeks ago about him doing Jazz Fest. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the same thing where it's like he just took it upon himself. It's like, all right, we need a good songwriter festival, and then just through thick and thin, jump through all the hoops to make it happen, and just basically through grit made it happen. So,
he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I love that that's
cool. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. That he's part of that whole Christmas thing.
It's for the Chattanooga Food Bank is what I was leading to. Is like that's another reason why if you're trying to make a difference during the holidays, that's a great way to do that.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people. I mean, think about this. To let your family know that there's a food drive going on at JJ's. Go to Thanksgiving, grab all of that food up, and then take it to JJ's. I think it's just a great way to celebrate the holidays. Yeah, and kudos to John for always having something for us to do after family time.
Yeah,
Thanks, John.
Dude, huge shout out to JJ's. I mean, they are just such a huge, catalyst for the local music scene, always giving artists chances, putting together really cool shows.
Can we talk about that real quick? Can we talk about, I told somebody that I never got a tour, like a rundown of how JJ's works, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I just showed up at JJ's, right? And I'm looking around and I go, well, I guess, okay, there isn't a sound guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the door guy isn't here yet. Okay. That looks like John. I guess hey, I'm Joel. Hey, I'm John. Hey, is there anything I need to know? No, man. Just set your stuff up and enjoy it.
Yeah, easy, John.
Are we going to have a sound guy, John? No, man. You kind of look around, and he's trying to be polite, but he's just like, hey, man, you just look around the room. There isn't much you can do with this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a self-aware venue owner,
Yeah.
And, man, you just go in there. You get the sound set as good as you can, and then the greatest shows that you've ever happened in your life
it's wild.
happen because John, and we talked about this 2 weekends ago, because John, in my opinion, doesn't sweat the small stuff. He doesn't have expectations going back. He just allows things to be because he's learned that that's the best way to do it, over the years. So if there's anybody that does a great job with expectations, I think in the business, it's John over the years. So
I think the other special thing about JJ's is because of its size, the energy that you get from the crowd is so intimate and it feels so just energetic. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
That's a double. I've sat up there solo before into a crowd that was not into bluegrass or singer-songwriters and just been like, I feel every ounce of hate coming, just pouring out of their pores into me right now.
And meanwhile, John's just like, Randy.
And it's probably all just me.
No,
they probably don't.
No, they probably hated you, genuinely. Bluegrass, man, bluegrass has gotten. Kudos to bluegrass players because over the years, I did not know a more rejected group of musicians. It's worse than jazz. I mean, people did not like bluegrass for a long time. And I'm really grateful that's not the case anymore.
That's crazy to me because I feel like the last couple of years, like everyone I've talked to is like, dude, bluegrass, it's like one of people's favorite genres. Like it's incredible and it's really paving the way here in Chattanooga.
Yeah. I mean,
you're setting the bricks down partially. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, that's
I
can't say that with like Fletcher Bright for all of these years has really pulled in everything. And then, Cindy Pinion has, if anybody, Cindy Pinion pushed the parade flow to bluegrass way past Main Street, all the way down to the gravel road, and she's just been pushing it by herself for a long, long time.
They say the extra mile is a gravel road.
That's right.
Yeah.
I heard that this week, by the way. That's good. I will say though, I do appreciate the names that you're throwing. I know that I'm not from here, right? But I can say from an outsider's perspective and a musician's perspective, thank you for being reachable and in the community, in the trenches, and being approachable.
Oh yeah.
Because I knew who I was introduced to you as soon as you were in the room. Hey, this is Randy Steele. You need to know him. He's a great dude. Here's what he's doing. And a lot of the people that you mentioned are active, but I really appreciate you being reachable.
See, that's what I think is so special about you, Randy.
All right, we're gonna have to stop this. All right.
No. At your core, you truly are a community builder. You bring together so many different groups of people, so many different kinds of musicians from so many different genres, and that's why you're the GOAT, dude.
And to tie it back into expectations, because I know you hate this. Expectations with people that build the scene in the community, at the end of the day, after every event, has the scene benefited from this?
Yeah, for sure.
Have we moved this forward? We, whether you want to, I don't adhere to genre, but I know I will eventually have to. But for right now, it's about music.
Yeah, it's about music.
It's about music.
I don't think you have to adhere to genre, man.
Well, I think that within this,
that's a huge conversation that we can have on.
I love that because I've adhered to not adhering to.
Yeah.
Right, and that's cost me.
Again, because you're what expectations,
right.
Because of in what way,
right.
Right. You landed here, you're playing here, you're having fun playing music here.
Well, I say that in the sense that Victor Wooten said about Pino Palladino at Songbirds. He said, "Why is Pino getting all the gigs?" And everybody said, "Because he plays pocket." He said, "Why is Victor not getting the gigs?" And he interrupted and he said, "Because he plays Victor."
Yeah.
And so there's an even ground there, which I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
And I was talking about that today. How can I authentically capitalize on exploiting my abilities?
Yeah.
Right? It's such a weird game because we're making a business out of our talents and gifts, and like that it gets personal and then business. And so I think that's another reason why expectations come, because it gets so personal.
Yeah.
Right? We take it so personal.
It's a lot different when, there's not been any time where I've been like, I have to have the show do good to feed my family.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a different deal completely. That sets expectations in a different way.
And
so if you're trying to achieve that, that's a very tough road to hoe anyway, but.
Well, and we put expectations on ourselves. I expect for me to do it this way for my whole life. And the minute that we have to pivot off of that, we feel like it's a failure. And I think we're locking ourselves into something that isn't practical.
Yeah.
We're just locking ourselves into something that, no. And I totally relate to what you said earlier. 18 to 21-year-olds coming to me saying, this is going to be the show.
Yeah, I'm going to break out.
This is the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, brother, it might get you a booking agent's attention, but there's so much in between here and there.
It's cumulative.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
it's tough to realize. Well, until we see people in this day and age blow up all of a sudden like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody really realizes that that's never like that.
Never.
It's never happens just like
Never.
that. It's almost always some cumulative effort of many people. A lot of times it's a lot of people, you know. And it gives the appearance.
That's right.
But it is what it is.
Well, and I think what was it? I looked at a gentleman. He had a viral video, 225,000 views.
Yeah.
And I go, let me see this other guy's video. He had 628 followers with 300 views on every video. It was just that one video that made it. He had 100 videos that he had made. Only one had hit. And so just that returning to, this is what I love. This is what I love to do.
Yeah.
And
He was making videos because he liked making the videos.
putting in the work without expecting results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Well,
I
they
think
say
we've all done tons of things we thought would help get people to shows, and just turns into stinkers, or just nothing happens. You know.
They say when I was I still am a felon, but whenever I was on probation, they said put in the work and don't be on the results committee.
Oh, what's the results committee?
The results committee is me immediately putting in the work and sitting around a table talking about what happened because of what I did.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, no, you don't know what's going to happen because of it's that. Just to get into, they call it karma yoga. Just doing what you do, just doing what you do.
Yeah.
No results, doesn't matter. Just do what you do.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think that plays really right into exactly everything we were talking about before. If you're having artistic problems, pivot. You know, if
That's
you can
right.
pivot, focus on something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, manage your expectations. Make sure that you don't think that I had kids that played soccer on the soccer fields. They have signs that say no kids are getting scholarships today.
Wow.
And
They do
that's
that?
for the parents, you know, because you have parents who have, you know, they go wild out there thinking
Right.
today's the day. You
Right.
know? And I really saw that. I always thought that was funny because I always saw that echoed in musicians. And even in my own self, where I've been like, oh, this is the thing. If I can just open for Sam Bush.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
If I could just do it.
Right.
He'll see how great I am and
Yeah.
take me on the road with him.
And then there's the crash, right? You've built your whole reality on the potential, the small chance. Because for example, like when I played with people that are my heroes, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I'll play with this person, and then, you know, I'm sure they'll need a rhythm guitar. Oh, so and so doesn't know any other rhythm guitar players. They don't have any other, like it's excluding so many people's lives. By being on my own train of thought, and it's a very selfish way of going through it.
I think it's natural though.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
know, it's natural. It's not.
You're looking at it. I mean, I do it every Tuesday. I mean, dead serious. It's just like, oh, here's Tuesday again. You're gonna doubt your whole career and wonder if it's all been worth it. It's like, dude, just play the game, brother. You know?
Just keep playing gigs.
Keep playing gigs, man.
Yeah.